What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, February 5th, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Maurice White, the co-founder and leader of the funk soul band Earth, Wind & Fire, has died after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. He was 74 years old. He had battled the disease for 24 years before his death Wednesday at his Los Angeles home. His brother and the group's bassist, Verdine White, confirmed his death on social media with a picture of his brother walking towards the pyramids at Giza, Egypt, often incorporated into their album's artwork. Verdine wrote, "My brother, hero, and best friend Maurice White passed away peacefully last night in his sleep. While the world has lost another great musician and legend, our family asks that our privacy is respected as we start with what will be a very difficult and life-changing transition in our lives. Thank you for your prayers and well wishes." White told Rolling Stone in 2000 of his illness because he said he had gotten tired of keeping it a secret since he was diagnosed in 1992. After announcing in 1995 he would no longer tour with his band, rumors about his health began to swirl. When the band was about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he decided it was time. He told the magazine at the time, "I just got tired of not talking about it. I had pretty much disappeared from the scene. A lot of people had not seen me in a long time, and they started wondering what was happening." White studied at the Chicago Conservatory of Music before becoming a session drummer for Chess and Oki record labels. He formed Earth, Wind & Fire in 1969 and named it after his astrological chart. With Earth, Wind & Fire, he co-wrote and produced most of the music. He also shared vocals with Philip Bailey. White forged a horn-driven pioneering fusion of funk, soul, jazz, R&B, and rock, even incorporating elements of African and Latin music. The band eventually sold 90 million records and won 6 Grammy Awards with hits like Shining Star, Sing a Song, September, Boogie Wonderland, a cover of the Beatles' Got to Get You Into My Life, Let's Groove, and After the Love Has Gone. The band was already scheduled to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Recording Academy this spring. Police say veteran X-Game biker Dave Mirra has died in North Carolina. He was 41. Greenville police said Thursday night that Mirra's body was found earlier in the day with an apparently self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities say they responded to an apparent suicide and discovered his body in a truck. He reportedly had been visiting friends in the area. Mayor Alan Thomas called Mirra a great friend and a wonderful human being. Mirra was an accomplished BMX rider and one of the most decorated athletes in X Games history, medaling every year from 1995 to 2008 and winning 14 gold medals. His one-time record of 24 career medals was broken in 2013 by Bob Burnquist. Mirra also hosted MTV's Real World Road Rules Challenge, and 2 video games carried his name. Mirra was 41 years old. A Pennsylvania judge ruled Wednesday Bill Cosby will stand trial for sexual assault regardless of the 2005 decision not to charge him. The judge sided with the Montgomery County District Attorney that the deal Cosby's lawyers made not to prosecute back then was not binding now, but also tossed a charge of aggravated indecent assault, which cleared the way for the trial to go ahead. Cosby's lawyers struck a deal with the then District Attorney Bruce Castor in 2005 to drop the case in return for full testimony for a civil suit filed by former Temple University employee Andrea Constant. Constant accused the 78-year-old comedian of drugging and molesting her at his home in 2004. Cosby admitted in his deposition he gave Constant Benadryl and wine, but said the sex was consensual. His lawyers also argued that because current DA Kevin Steele defeated Castor in an election last year on the campaign promise he would prosecute the Cosby case, that Castor chose not to. Therefore, Steele is biased. The judge threw that out too. Castor testified for the hearing, saying he believed Constant, but thought she had credibility issues that would make getting a conviction practically impossible. It is not known if Cosby's team will appeal the decision. Steele said a secret agreement that permits a wealthy defendant to buy his way out of a criminal case isn't right. A preliminary hearing for the criminal case is scheduled for March 8th. A New York judge decided Wednesday to drop lawsuits from Kesha's producer Dr. Luke against her mother and manager amid an ongoing lawsuit accusing him of sexual and drug-associated abuse. The lawsuit were brought to the New York Supreme Court in October 2014, alleging Kesha's mother, P.B. Sherbert, and manager Jack Rovner encouraged the singer to try to forcefully escape her recording contract. The two lawsuits were dropped this week due to lack of jurisdiction. Dr. Luke, or Lucas Galtwald, reportedly filed a similar lawsuit against Sherbert in Tennessee in anticipation of the New York judge's decision. Reports predict the next decision in the case will regard Kesha's attempt to obtain a preliminary injunction allowing her to finally record music outside of Dr. Luke's control as producer. Because Kesha is contractually unable to release new music, the singer instead shared a video of herself covering Amazing Grace for her fans. Marcia Clark says watching American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson is a difficult and painful experience. The 62-year-old author, who served as the lead prosecutor in the O.J. Simpson murder trial, reacted to the FX series after its premiere this week. Simpson was accused of murdering his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson in 1994 and was acquitted of the crime the next year. Clark said of the show Wednesday on The View, "I think it's amazing, really amazing. I can't watch it the way most people do. For me, it's reliving a nightmare. It's just awful. Every bit of it is awful and hard for me." She also qualified by saying, "Yet I have to tell you, it's kind of a measure of how good it is, that it hurts that much. They're getting the big stuff so right." Executive producer Ryan Murphy has the guts to pull out the big issues, the racial issues, and sexism. Sarah Paulson plays Clark on the series, with Cuba Gooding Jr. as Simpson and David Schwimmer, John Travolta, and Courtney B. Vance as Simpson's defense lawyers Robert Kardashian, Robert Shapiro, and Johnny Cochran. Clark praised Paulson's performance on the show in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. She said, "I think she's a genius. She's an amazing actress. She surpassed anything I could have ever imagined. She's funny and so brilliant, and she's a wonderful person. The first thing I said to her was, 'Sorry about the hair,'" she added of her perm. Clark has since published several books, including Without a Doubt, which chronicles the trial, and a series of novels. American Crime Story airs Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FX. And in a related story, television personality Faye Resnick's character made a dramatized appearance on Tuesday's premiere of The People vs. O.J. Simpson and is now being dubbed the series' breakout star. A pre-Real Housewives of Beverly Hills version of Resnick, who was a close friend of the late Nicole Brown Simpson, is being played by American Horror Story actress Connie Britton. After the high-profile O.J. Simpson murder trial, Resnick penned two books of her experience: 1994's Nicole Brown Simpson, The Private Diary of a Life Interrupted, and 1996 Shattered in the Eyes of the Storm, about her personal experience during the trial. Resnick's first book is reportedly relevant once more as the public reflects on the infamous trial because of the author alleges an affair between the late Nicole Brown Simpson and former NFL football player Marcus Allen, a close friend of O.J. Simpson. On Real Housewives, Simpson was recently confronted by Catherine Edwards, who was engaged to Allen during the time of the accused affair. Edwards said during the clip on the show in January, "Obviously there is history. Way back then when all that shit was going on, the way I was brought into it, I associated that with you." Resnick responded, "I have nothing to say to anyone about what happened 20-something years ago. That was a very hard time, and it's sad. There's not really much to discuss at this point, is there?" There's a sneak peek of the long-awaited reunion of Friends. An NBC special must-see TV, a tribute to James Burrows, popular television cast from Taxi, Cheers, Frasier, Friends, Will and Grace, The Big Bang Theory, and Mike and Molly gathered to honor the legendary TV director. Most of the cast of Friends were there for the taping, with the exception of Matthew Perry, who was rehearsing a play in London. In the clip, you see Andy Cohen, host of Bravo's Watch What Happens Live, ask the cast, "Did you all sign contracts saying you wouldn't sleep with each other?" with Lisa Kudrow quipping in Fox Panic, "David, say something," to David Schwimmer. Must-see TV, a tribute to James Burrows, will air February 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC. And in a related story, Matt LeBlanc is to co-host Top Gear, a revamped version of Britain's motoring show, which will return to the BBC in May. This is the first time in the program's 39-year history that it will have a non-British presenter. Co-host Chris Evans said in a statement Thursday, "Matt's a lifelong fellow petrol head, and I'm thrilled he's joining Top Gear. Acting out our craziest car notions on screen is a dream job, and I know we'll both be debating some epic road trip ideas. We can't wait to share what we've been up to on screen later this year." LeBlanc added, "As a car nut and a massive fan of Top Gear, I'm honored and excited to be part of this iconic show's new chapter. What a thrill." Alan Tyler, the BBC's acting controller for Entertainment Commissioning, says Matt is a class act and a brilliant signing for Top Gear. He is a self-confessed car fanatic with a passion for the program. I'm really looking forward to watch Chris and Matt bring the all-new show to our audiences. Best known for his portrayal of Joey in the U.S. sitcom Friends, LeBlanc most recently starred in the BBC Showtime comedies episodes. The 48-year-old actor has twice appeared as a guest on Top Gear and hosted the standalone special Top Gear The Races. Top Gear has been on hiatus since last year when Jeremy Clarkson, accused of verbally abusing a producer, was fired, and his co-hosts Richard Hammond and James Bain refused to return to the show without him. The trio is now working on a new car-related series for Amazon. The New York premiere of How to Be Single drew the film's stars in their best red carpet attire Wednesday night. Taking place at the New York University Skirball Center, the screening event saw Dakota Johnson, Rebel Wilson, Alison Brie, and Leslie Mann arrive and pose for countless photos together. Brie reportedly wore a floor-length dress from Monsignor Maison, while Wilson donned a custom, form-fitting red number from Torrid. Mann strutted in a short black Marchesa dress together with Christian Louboutin shoes. Television personality Raven Simone, Melanie Griffin, Don Johnson, Busy Phillips, Mark Ronson, Nico Turrelli, and Tavi Gempson were among the premiere's notable attendees. Mann brought along her producer hubby Judd Apatow to the event. New Line Cinema's How to Be Single, a comedy following the story of a young woman's coming of singledom, bows in theaters February 12th. Joseph Fiennes, the star of the biblical drama Risen, met Pope Francis in the Vatican City this week. Fiennes was in town with actress Maria Botto and the film's producer to promote the project, which opens in U.S. theaters on February 19th. It is to be screened at the Vatican Thursday. A synopsis said, "Risen is the epic biblical story of the resurrection of Jesus Christ in the weeks that follow, as seen through the eyes of an unbelievable Clavius played by Fiennes, a high-ranking Roman military tribune." The synopsis continues by saying Clavius and his aide Lucius, played by Tom Felton, are instructed by Pontius Pilate to ensure Jesus' radical followers don't steal his body and claim resurrection. When the body goes missing within days, Clavius sets out on a mission to locate the missing body in order to disprove the rumors of a rising Messiah and prevent an uprising in Jerusalem. Fiennes is best known for his work in the Oscar-winning movies Shakespeare in Love and TV shows Flash Forward, Camelot, and American Horror Story. He recently made headlines when he was cast as light-skinned African-American pop star Michael Jackson in a British TV movie. Adam West, made famous for his role as superhero Batman during the 1960s television series, will make an appearance during Big Bang Theory's anticipated 200th episode. West, who's 87, will play himself in the episode alongside fellow guest stars Christine Baranski, John Ross Bowie, Sarah Gelberg, and Will Wheaton, who will play himself as well. CBS and show creators are reportedly keeping the episode's plot details under wraps ahead of its debut. Big Bang Theory has hosted such guest stars as Stan Lee, Bob Newhart, George Takei, Katie Shakoff, Leonard Nimoy, Stephen Hopkins, and Summer Glau, among others. The landmark episode of the Chuck Lorre, Bill Pratty, and Steve Malaro series will air Thursday night on CBS. Christina Milian will star in Fox's forthcoming Rocky Horror Picture Show remake. The 34-year-old singer will play Magenda, a complaint maid who is sisters to Riff Raff, played by Reese Carney. Patricia Quinn played the character in the original 1973 musical and the 1975 film adaptation. Milian wrote Wednesday, "Mood, Magenta, hashtag Rocky Horror Picture Show. Looking forward to this new adventure." Ryan McCartan, who will play Brad Majors, responded to the news by welcoming the singer to the family. Laverne Cox will co-star as Dr. Frankenfooter, with Victoria Justice as Janet Weiss, Adam Lambert as Eddie, and Stas Nair as Rocky Horror. Tim Curry, who portrayed Dr. Frankenfooter in the original production and movie, will voice the narrator. Rocky Horror follows Janet and Brad into Dr. Frankenfooter's castle after they get a flat tire. The newlyweds discover the mad scientist, a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania, has created a monster, the titular Rocky Horror. Hocus Pocus and High School Musical director Kenny Ortega will direct, choreograph, and executive produce the remake, with original producer Lou Adler and the Jackal Group co-founder J.L. German as executive producers. The TV movie will air in the fall. Milian last released a 4-song EP, For You, in December, which included the singles Rebel and Do It. The singer continues to star on E's reality series Christina Milian Turned Up and plays Vanessa on Fox's comedy Grandfather. Singer Rihanna joined actor George Clooney on the set of The Ellen DeGeneres Show Wednesday night to play a game of Never Have I Ever. During the lighthearted game, Rihanna, who recently dropped her 8th studio album, Anti, admitted to texting nude selfies while Clooney joked he only does that on Instagram. Host Ellen DeGeneres joined her guests in agreeing they never have hooked up with someone over 50 years old. Clooney, who is married to 38-year-old lawyer Amal Clooney, joked, "That's just wrong." Much of the game consisted of the two celebrity guests weighing what each Never Have I Ever questions could specifically means, like what a cat was in context of what exactly hooking up really means. Rihanna joked of the latter topic. People have different expectations. Some people think hooking up is like licking the envelope and closing. Jimmy Fallon impersonated Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump during Wednesday night's episode of The Tonight Show. During the segment, Fallon, dressed in his best Trump costume, now a regular occurrence on the show, delivered an unorthodox victory speech explaining why 2 is better than 1. Fallon's Trump says 1 + 1 is 2, so basically I won twice. What I'm saying is I'm proud to be as second. From now on, when you think Donald Trump, I want you to think huge number 2. The clip comes shortly after Trump placed second in the Iowa caucus behind Senator Ted Cruz. The remaining Republican candidates will continue their campaign in New Hampshire ahead of the caucus there February 9th. Nina Dobrev brings the heat to Lip Sync Battle on Thursday night. The episode showed the 27-year-old actress dancing seductively close to competitor Tim Tebow during her performance to Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Dobrev's dance left the 28-year-old NFL star all smiles before he performed to Survivor's hit Eye of the Tiger. The track is the theme for Rocky III, and Tebow dressed as the titular boxer for the performance. The football player said in a pre-show interview, "I'm feeling pretty good. I really am. I'm feeling confident. I feel like I have 2 pretty good songs. I feel like Nina is going to be a really tough competitor, though. Good luck, Nina. I hope you do your best. I hope that it goes really well." Lip Sync Battle is inspired by Jimmy Fallon's popular Tonight Show segment of the same name and premiered on Spike TV in April. Chrissy Teigen and LL Cool J host the series, which was renewed for a 3rd season in January. Former Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actress Janet Hubert says she deeply respects Jada Pinkett Smith despite her disagreement with the choice to boycott the upcoming Academy Awards. Speaking on Thursday's episode of The Real in a clip obtained by Entertainment Tonight, Hubert, who recently called Smith and her husband and former colleague Will Smith pretenders, says, "I respect Jada highly. I respect her skills. I respect her as an artist. I respect her as an actress very much." Hubert's recent criticism of the Smiths stems from the couple's choice to abstain from taking part in this year's Academy Awards ceremony in response to the lack of diversity among nominees. After Pinkett Smith released a video explaining her disapproval of the Academy's choice, Hubert reacted in January saying it was ironic that somebody who has made their living and made millions and millions of dollars from the very people you're talking about boycotting just because you didn't get a nomination, just because you didn't win. That's not the way the life works, baby. During her appearance on The Real, Hubert explained about a bout of ongoing tension between her and the Smiths, which adds depth to her public disapproval. Hubert said, "Janet Hubert was never difficult on that set. Janet Hubert was so professional, it wasn't even funny." Speaking of herself in the third person about her stint as Aunt Viv in the popular 1990s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Ariel Winter shared photos from her glamorous 18th birthday party Wednesday. The 18-year-old actress, who wore a Swarovski-covered Charbel Zoe leotard to her celebration, posted a photo of her grown-up look on Instagram, writing, "Birthday outfit." Winter also shared a series of photo booth snaps with boyfriend Laurent Claude Gaudet from the party. The couple have been dating for 2 years and look very much together, despite Winter appearing to hint at a split in December. The Modern Family star rang in her actual birthday, January 20th, on the set of the ABC sitcom with Sofia Vergara and other co-stars, and partied with over 300 friends and family members at a Moroccan-themed celebration the next day. She told E! News, "We had Aladdin guys and belly dancers, and we had a lot of really cool things. My cake was awesome. I'm Greek, so you gotta factor in family members, how many cousins I have, and stuff like that," she added of her many guests. Rita Ora and Gerard Butler sparked dating rumors this week after reportedly dining together in January. Sources told Us Weekly magazine the 25-year-old British singer and 46-year-old actor enjoyed a romantic dinner at a West Hollywood hotel last month. An onlooker said they drank wine. She hugged him when he returned to the table from a break. Gerard paid the bill. He's totally single and ready to get back out there. Butler was last linked to interior designer Morgan Brown, whom he started dating in mid-2014. The couple seemed happy and affectionate when they were spotted in December. An insider told E! News the actor's dinner with Ora was platonic. A source insisted they're just friends and there's nothing going on. Rita and Gerard have known each other for a while. They had dinner and nothing more. Ora was previously dating Calvin Harris and Ricky Hill and was last linked to Travis Barker in October. Sources said at the time the pair bonded over their love of music after Ora reportedly sought the Blink-182 drummer out at a charity basketball game. Ora released her debut studio album Ora in 2012 and sued her record label Roc Nation in December in an attempt to break her contract. The company, owned by rapper Jay-Z, countersued this week for a breach of contract. Meanwhile, Butler, known for such films as The Phantom of the Opera, 300, and Olympus Has Fallen, will star in the sequel London Has Fallen, is also slated for Gods of Egypt with Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and The Headhunter's Calling with Willem Dafoe. Weird Al Yankovic will star in the new Disney XD animated series Milo's Murphy's Law. The 56-year-old singer and parodist confirmed the news Thursday on Twitter, writing, "I'm very happy to announce that I'll be voicing the title role in Disney's XD's Milo Murphy's Law. Milo Murphy's Law follows Milo, the fictional great-great-great-great-grandson of Murphy's Law namesake. The character suffers from extreme hereditary Murphy's Law condition, making him vulnerable to anything that can go wrong, indeed going wrong. The series hails from Fiennes and Ferb creator Dave Parnevmile and Jeb Swampy Marsh, who also voiced roles. Sabrina Carpenter and Mika Curtis will play Milo's friends Melissa Chase and Zach Underwood, respectively. Christian Slater, Vanessa Williams, and Sarah Chalke are among the other voice actors. Slater will portray Milo's enemy, school crossing guard Elliot Decker, with Williams as Zach's mom, Eileen, and Chalke as the science teacher, Mrs. Maratsky. Yankovic will also record the show's theme song and perform other songs throughout the series. The singer last released the album Mandatory Fun in 2014, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 charts, giving him his first record atop the charts. Yankovic has voiced characters on several shows, including Adventure Time, BoJack Horseman, and Teen Titans Go. He will guest star on an episode of The Go-Berg Season 3, scheduled to air February 17th on ABC. Miley Cyrus has been named as a key advisor for the upcoming 10th season of The Voice. Paul Tajeli, the president and alternative of late-night programming for NBC Entertainment, said in a statement Wednesday, "When Miley speaks, everyone pays attention. Our artists are very lucky to have the benefit of her instincts and wisdom. Our viewers will be treated to an inside look at one of the brightest minds in music and the entertainment industry who is at the forefront of pop culture." Cyrus is the former star of TV's Hannah Montana. She also hosted the MTV Video Music Awards and Saturday Night Live last year, appeared in Bill Murray's holiday program, A Very Merry Christmas, and was recently cast in a Woody Allen as-of-yet untitled Amazon series. Coaches for the latest season of The Voice will be Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, Pharrell Williams, and Christina Aguilera. Season 10 is to premiere February 29th on NBC. Exes Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose shared a pleasant night together during the rapper's album listening party in New York Wednesday night. Rose, who split from whom she said was the lover of her life in 2014, shared a photo of herself and Khalifa on Instagram and Twitter from the party, writing, "Supporting Sebastian's dad at his #Khalifa album listening party," alongside a string of heart eye emojis. The former couple, who welcomed their child Sebastian Taylor months before their wedding in 2013, were also featured in a Snapchat clip showing them side by side making silly faces. Towards the end of the brief video, Rose is seen giving Khalifa a kiss on the cheek. The seemingly enjoyable night shared by the two formerly estranged celebrities comes shortly after a Twitter feud between themselves and rapper Kanye West was dropped after they all made amends. People reported rapper Khalifa thanked Rose for attending his party while addressing the crowd, affectionately calling her "my baby mama" as they cheered. In a recent interview, Rose said she and Khalifa are still very much in love, but we just can't be together. We're not good in a relationship. He was the love of my life. He was the only man I ever loved. Taylor Swift is the latest American superstar to land a video game deal with Glu Mobile, the gaming company behind Kim Kardashian Hollywood and Katy Perry Pop. Glu Mobile, which recently deemed Perry's game a disappointment, announced its deal with Swift during a conference call this week. Glu CEO Niccolo De Masi said during the call transcribed by Seeking Alpha, "We're very pleased that this afternoon we're announcing a multi-year exclusive gaming partnership with Taylor Swift. Taylor is arguably the most popular person in the world with over 220 million social followers. She has sold over 40 million albums, and there's a uniquely strong interest in both her music and life from all demographics. The new Taylor Swift game is expected to launch in late December," De Masi said. De Masi said in a separate statement released by Glu Mobile, "Glu is equally committed to designing never-before seen gameplay elements that utilize Taylor's unique creativity. The successful game developer is also the creator of James Bond World of Espionage, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and Cooking Dash. It had also recently penned a deal with the famous television chef Gordon Ramsay." And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1957, the American invasion begins as Bill Haley and the Comets storm Britain. Back home in the United States, Bill Haley and the Comets were already passé. Their role in launching the rock and roll revolution was questionable, but it had almost been 2 years since Rock Around the Clock exploded on the scene. In the meantime, a certain young man from Memphis had come along and changed the rules of the game. Elvis Presley, with his good looks and world-altering charisma, had made it nearly impossible for a slightly paunchy 30-year-old like Bill Haley to compete with in the youth market in the United States. But Bill Haley and the Comets weren't in the United States on this date in 1957. They were embarked in England, disembarking from the Queen Elizabeth at Southampton and prepared to launch the first European tour ever by a major American rock and roll act. When Haley and his band reached London Waterloo Station later that same day, mayhem ensued. Thousands of fans formed a crush in the station to greet the group in a raucous display the press dubbed the Second Battle of Waterloo. For the generation of war babies just becoming teenagers in Great Britain, Haley's tour offered the first chance to see a real live rock and roll show. Those shows made a particularly strong impression on certain members of that generation who would go on to change the course of music history. Pete Townsend several decades later said, "The birth of rock and roll for me, seeing Bill Haley and the Comets. God, that band swung." Paul McCartney said, "The first time I really ever felt a tingle up my spine was when I saw Bill Haley and the Comets on the telly. Then I went to see them live. The ticket was 24 shillings, and I was the only one of my mates who could go, as no one else had been able to save up that amount. But I was single-minded about it. I knew there was something going on here." Graham Nash said, "I still got the ticket stub in my wallet from when I went to see Bill Haley and the Comets play in Manchester in February 1957, my first ever concert. Over the years, I've lost houses, I've lost wives, but I've not lost that ticket stub. It's that important to me." Bill Haley and the Comets may have aged out of the rock and roll stardom back home, but they were greeted as heroes on this date in 1957 by a nation where rock and roll was just starting to explode. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, February 5th, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend, good night, and God bless you all.